Okay, so this video deals with the topic of logarithms and more specifically questions related to the topic of logarithms. I highly recommend if you did not watch the video on theory of logarithms, I highly recommend that you watch that before watching this video because a lot of the concepts discussed in that video are going to be used here. Okay, so let's get right into it. So in these questions, all we want to do is find facts. Okay. So here we have log x squared minus 5x plus 9 to base 3 is equal to 1. Now we have two ways to approach this one and I'll show you the two ways. Okay, the first way is that if you remember the definition for a log, okay, the very first thing, what is the equivalent of a log? Okay, we could actually convert this. Remember, if we bring this here, okay, and then move everything up, remember when we said that? Okay, so again, if we have x is equal to log y to base e, okay, this is the equivalent of e to the power of x is equal to y. Using that same logic, we could say here that 3 to the power of 1 is equal to x squared minus 5x plus 9. Okay, now this is one way to look at it, okay, and some people tend to find it difficult to see it this way. So here is the other way which we use when dealing with constants in a logarithm question. Okay, so rather than do it this way, okay, what we could do is that we have log to base 3 of x squared minus 5x plus 9, okay, is equal to 1. Okay, now we multiplying this 1 here now by 1. Okay, now this is where it gets thing. Remember that any base, remember this rule, log e to base e is equal to 1. So if we multiply this 1 by 1 in the logarithm form, it will not change the equation. Okay, so we'll change this to 1 multiplied by log 3 to base 3. Why base 3? Because we have a base 3 in this question, so why would I pick a different base? Okay, so then what we have is log 3 into x squared minus 5x plus 9 is equal to log 3 to the power of 1 to base 3. Notice we have one term on the left hand side, one term on the right hand side, and they are both to the same base. So therefore we could drop the logs. Okay, so therefore this is equivalent of saying x squared minus 5x plus 9 is equal to 3. Okay, and notice that we have the same thing we got over there. Okay, and all this we have to do here now is just solve the quadratic. So bring across the 3, so we get x squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. If we factorize that, we'll get x minus 3, x minus 2. So I'm basically, after a while, you basically know how to factorize and you could kind of see it on your own without having to go through the long steps. So again, if you don't know how to do it the shorthand way, if you can't visualize it and automatically move from this step to this step, take your time, expand it, or like how we did, how I showed you in the factorizing video. Okay, but after some time you'll get accustomed to it, and this is equal to 0. Therefore we have x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. Again, these things just come with time. You will get to 2, but doing enough questions, you tend to see a pattern. You tend to see how to do these questions, how to factorize. Very simple. Okay, so that's this question. So whichever way suits you, you do it that way. I highly recommend. No, you definitely need to know this way because it comes up in questions. So if I had to pick one, I would say do it the second way because it's, to me, it's a little bit more easier to understand. Okay, so let's see this question now. We have log x squared minus 6 to base 10 plus log 2 to base 10 is equal to 1 plus log x to base 10. Okay, so notice we have to handle this constant here. Okay, we have everything to base 10, but we need to do something about this 1. Okay, so just as I showed you before, this would be equal to 1 log 10 to the base 10 plus log x to the base 10. Okay, and this is equivalent of log 10 to the base 10 plus log x to the base 10. Now, see, now we have all these things in terms of logs. Okay, what we could do now is combine all the terms on the left hand side, then combine all the terms on the right hand side, so we could get it one term on the left hand side and one term on the right hand side. So this here now simplifies to log 10. Notice we added, so therefore we'll multiply, so it becomes 2x squared minus 12, okay, is equal to, remember when we add in again here, we are multiplying, so it becomes log 10x. Okay, then we have one term on the left hand side, one term on the right hand side, both to the same base, so we can therefore drop the logs. Okay, so what we get is 2x squared minus 12 is equal to 10x. Okay, therefore we'll have 2x squared minus 10x minus 12 is equal to 0. Notice we can divide throughout by 2. Therefore, we'll have x squared minus 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, this factorizes to x minus 6 x plus 1. Okay, which is equal to 0. Therefore, we'll get x is equal to 6 and x is equal to negative 1. Now, this is an important question, and each question has an important topic which I'm trying to relate on to you. Now, one thing I did not mention before, which I'm going to mention now, is you cannot find the log of a negative number. Okay, try it on your calculator, it is impossible. Okay, you'll get an error. So, what we do is we need to check back our equation. Notice here now, right? If x is equal to minus 1 is a solution, right? We'll get log to base 10 of negative 1. Now, we cannot find, we just now said that this here, we cannot find that, that will give us an error. So therefore, whenever we get our x value, what we need to do is check it back with the original equation and make sure we don't end up in such a situation. Okay, and therefore, we say that this here is not a solution. Okay, why? Because you cannot find the log of a negative number. So whenever you get a value for x, whenever you're solving for x or y or whatever, make sure and put it back into the equation and make sure you could solve back the equation. Okay, so that was that question. So remember, you cannot find the log of a negative number. This question here now, we have 2 to the power x equal to 8. Okay, we know here now that x is 8 is actually 2 to the power of 3. So since these two are the same, we can imply that x is equal to 3. Okay, and that was pretty simple. But what if we have a case where we can't find it in the form of 2 to the power some number? Okay, take for example this one, 2 to the power x is equal to 5. We don't know what 2 to the power of some number is equal to 5. We don't know what that number is. So what we need to do in a case like this is use logs. Okay, so remember, just like how we could drop the logs, we could also add in logs on our own. Okay, remember that rule? So taking logs, you have to take them on both sides. So we'll have log, you could take it to any base. Sometimes the best thing to do is to take log to base 2. In this case, why? Because we'll have log 2 to base 2 to the power of x is equal to log 5 to base 2. Notice when I bring down this power x now, I'll get x is equal to log 2 to the base 2 is equal to log 5 to the base 2. Notice now that log 2 to the base 2 is 1. So therefore, I'll have x is equal to log 5 to the base 2. And if I want to find its value, just put it into a calculator and you'll get the value of x, okay? So this is how you do this question. Again, note what base you want to take. Take a base that's going to help you in some way, where you could make a term 1 and then get rid of it, okay? Now we have a question like this, okay? Notice we have one term on the left hand side and one term on the right hand side. So therefore we could do the exact same thing that we did above and take the logs. Okay, so we take log. Okay, we take in log. Let's say we want to take logs to, in this case, you could take it to base 4, you could take it to base 5. Okay, let's say in this case, I want to take it to base 10 to just make matters simple. Again, it's really up to you. But the most common thing you want to do is take logs to base 10. I know above I said you take it to base 2, but in that case it simplified it. If you take logs to base 10 in the question before, you'd have gotten the same answer. In this case, I want to take it to base 10. Okay, so we'll have a log 4 to the 2x plus 1 is equal to log 10 5 to the power of x minus 2. Okay, so what I want to do here now is we want to bring down the power, so it becomes 2x plus 1 in brackets of log 4 to the base 10 is equal to x minus 2 is equal to log 5 to the base 10. Okay, what we're going to do now is expand all these brackets, so we'll get 2x log 4 base 10 plus log 4 base 10 is equal to x log 5 base 10 minus 2 log 5 to base 10. Okay, now we have this. Whenever we solve it, remember we want to find the unknown variable on one side. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all the x's on one side and put all the constants on the other side. Okay, so what we'll have is 2x. Okay, we'll have 2x log 4 to base 10 plus, sorry, okay, we bring in this, the x over, so it becomes minus x log 5 to base 10 is equal to minus 2. If we bring, what we'll do is we'll bring the 2 up, okay? So it becomes log 25, because it becomes 5 squared to base 10 minus log 4 to base 10, okay? So what we want to do now is we want to make x the subject of the formula. Okay, so we get x is equal to 2. So x factor out x, sorry. So it becomes 2. So becomes 2 log 4 to base 10 minus log 5 to base 10, which is equal to minus log 25 to base 10 minus log 4 to base 10. Okay, and therefore we'll have x is equal to minus log 25 to base 10. I'll factor the minus sign. Okay, right, minus, and I'll become plus here, log 4 to base 10, all divided here now by what we have here now. We have, so we'll have, so what I'll do is I'll bring this 2 up, so it becomes 4 to the power 2, which is 16. So it becomes log 16, sorry, to base 10 minus log 5 to base 10. So now we have x is equal to this. Now we can actually simplify this. Okay, notice we could combine the numerator into one term, we could combine the denominator into one term. Okay, so this would be therefore equal to minus, if we combine the numerator, becomes log to base 10 of 25 multiplied by 4, which is 100, all divided by log to base 10 of 16 over 5. Okay, now we know that 100 is actually 10 squared. So the top actually simplifies to minus 2 over log 16 over 5 to base 10. Okay, and we could just find the value of that and get our answer. Okay, that answer should work out, once you put that in your calculator, it's supposed to be equal to 3.96. okay, that's the value you're supposed to get when you put it in your calculator. Let me just double check to make sure. In these questions, I highly recommend that you get a Casio calculator. Okay, they're the easiest calculators to work with. You could get them, order them on Amazon, or you could get them in Radio Shack. Okay, but I highly recommend getting this calculator because it is very helpful in these situations. Okay, in questions like these. Okay, so you should get roughly around 3.96 or negative 3.96. Just whenever we go on the calculator, whatever you get, I believe it was negative 3.96 when I'm checking here. Okay, because it's minus 2. Okay, I'll just have to double check that, but I believe that is the answer. Okay, okay, just now. Okay, okay, so the last question here now. Notice in this question now that we can't use the logs, like we can't just introduce logs like how we did before. Okay, in this we have to do some work to it before we introduce logs or anything. And what we call this here is actually what we call a deceptive quadratic. Okay, this is actually a quadratic equation. Okay, but it takes some effort to make it into one. So what we need to recall here is our laws of indices. Okay, so this here is actually 7x all squared. Okay, using the laws of indices. Okay, minus 7 to the power x multiplied by 7 plus 12 is equal to 0. Okay, this we simply get it to this form using the laws of indices, which I will cover in a later video. Okay, then we say let y be equal to 7 to the power of x, right? We cannot say let x be equal to 7 to the power of x because we already have x in the equation. So we say let y. Okay, so what we'll get is y squared minus 7y plus 12 is equal to 0. Now if we factorize this, we get y minus 4, y minus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, we get y is equal to 3 and y is equal to 4. But notice, did they ask us to solve for y? No, they did not ask us to solve for y. They want to solve for x, and it's a common problem people make is that they forget, they just stop here and they think they have the answer, but no, we have to find for x. So what is y? 7 to the power x is y. So now we have 7 to the power x is equal to 3, and 7 to the power of x is equal to 4. Next, we have to take logs, okay? So here, I'll take logs to be 7, so we get log 7x to be 7 is equal to log 3 to be 7. Therefore, I'll get x is equal to log 3 to be 7. Since log 7 to be 7 is 1. Here now, again, we'll have log 7 to be 7. Here, log 4 to be 7. Okay, bring on the power, this becomes 1, so we have log 4 to be 7. Calculate the value of this, will give you your answer. Calculate the value of this, you will get your answer. Okay, and this is basically the topic of logs. I hope it helped your understanding in logs. This is really how all the questions in logs come, right? There isn't really much variation to the questions on logs. These are pretty much all the questions they could ask you on the topic of logs. Okay, so I hope you all understood this video, and I hope I was able to clarify anything you did not understand. Okay, and do look forward to the next video. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something.